Okay, in celebration of 4th of July, we are going to paint this truck insert. There's a lot of little pieces, and I definitely need to clean these fireworks off. They definitely got some major scorching. And also, I'll show you if your item does come broke, because these are pretty fragile, but it's not the end of the world. We can fix it. I accidentally broke this when I was picking it up. I dropped it. Okay, let's start color sorting. So today I'm going to use Deep Burgundy from DecoArt, Deep Midnight Blue. This is DecoArt color, but I got it color matched at Home Depot. I'm not sure if we're going to use Winter Blue yet or Williamsburg Blue, but we'll be using one of these. I'm going to shade the beard and mustache and eyebrows with milk chocolate. I got Warm Beige, which is the DecoArt color match from Home Depot for his face and nose. I think what I'm gonna do is, so all these little stars, I'm gonna do different colors. So I want this one to be red, this one to be white, this one to be blue, blue. These ones will be white, red, red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, white. I think that's all the stars. This will be beige. This will be white. This will be beige. This will be beige. This will be white. 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 Definitely want me to wipe those off. This will be blue, a dark blue, a light blue, red, white, let's see. I think I want this to be, I don't know, I'm gonna put that there. I'm not quite sure what color I want that to be. I want to do different colors on each one of these. So, I'm gonna set these aside for now. This I'm gonna do red, white, and blue. So I'm gonna set that aside. The bill itself will be silver. Or slate gray. I need to find my slate gray. This, I think I want to do brown. USA will be red. Alright. So on this, I think I'm going to do the letters dark blue. Or the numbers. This I'll do red. This I'll do red. These will be yellow. And the back will be blue. Okay, so I'm going to move some of these out of my way. Let's see if I remember what I want to do. Alright, for the background on this, I think I'm going to use winter blue. And also, we just want to do the back side of like this part, not his face. This face is going to be beige. And I think I'm going to start with winter blue. So I'm just going to do everything besides his face here. I'm not worried about getting paint here because his hand will cover that. I'm not worried about getting paint on here because his hat brim will cover that. And you don't need to worry about covering this area either because we have the banner that will go over it, but I'm painting it just because. I think I'm going to paint his shirt dark blue. So I can get a good coat here. I'm going to just go ahead and go over this area with winter blue, but I'm going to repaint over it with dark blue. We'll have to go over that again. So I'm going to set that over here to dry. This is going to be deep midnight blue. Okay, that'll need a second coat, so I'm just going to set it to the side. And these are going to be dark blue. And that I'll need a second coat. This is going to be the light blue, so I'm going to use winter blue to cover that. Okay, we'll come back and paint the red in a second. Alright, on this I want to do red, white, and blue. So let me get some red on my paint palette here. And for white, I am using DecoArt Light Buttermilk. Red. While I have red, we can do this. You will definitely need to do another coat of red. I'm not quite sure where that came from. There's more. I went to town earlier today and went to Walmart and they had contact paper, and I thought, you know what, this would be really nice to be able to clean up the edges versus taking a brown paper and I can just wipe it like this. Comes out pretty good. We'll see how it works. Alright, make sure I have cleaned off my fingers. And dark red, white. I should have cleaned the scorching marks off of this, but we'll see how buttermilk does. White and blue. We'll have to add another layer of paint on that one. This is going to be red. And I was going to show, so my laser needed to be cleaned and it didn't cut through some of the MDF all the way. And if you don't have a sander like this or sandpaper, I was just going to show you guys a trick using a nail file. Oops. You can pick these up at a dollar store, Walmart, whatever. Where'd my scissors go? Another trick to add. So you can just take the nail file and there, taken care of. Just like that. Okay, red. Or I should say burgundy. All kinds of goobers today. Okay, guess I'll need another coat. Set that aside. Okay. Let's get another piece of tape. wet. This is probably going to need some sanding. So I'm going to take my handy dandy little hand sander. This is 320 grit, 240 work, and sand the scorching off. Piece of tape. Just blowing off the excess dust. Okay, so on here, this is red, so I think I want to do this one dark blue. This is red, so I think I want to do this one red, and I think this one went there. Dark blue, red. This one goes there. So I'm going to do this one yellow. We'll base coat it with white. And then this one will be dark blue. Okay, so let me get some white. That'll need another coat. This will be red. And dark blue. Put that to the side. Let's take this back. Actually, let's do this one first. Do another coat of winter blue. This is part of his hair, and I'll show you when we start putting it together, but I need to paint that white. So So I'm just gonna use my baby wipe and wipe off some of that light blue. Another sponge, and we want to go over this area with warm beige, and I just want to go over it with a very light amount and just dab lightly so you don't get the paint into his eyes. I like to dab it in the paint and then dab it a couple times to get most of the paint off, and then just lightly go over it. That'll probably need another coat, and I got carried away, so let's cover that up. So this will be white. I think I am going to use a paintbrush to get into those little areas with white. And then I'm going to use one of my smaller sponges just to kind of even out the paint. I'll let that dry. This is dark blue, second coat. And see how that second coat just really covers the wood pretty good. Okay, I'll let that dry. Bring this back over. Add a second layer of winter blue. And a second layer of burgundy. Let that dry. Hit this with red for the second coat. And the white. No, maybe sponge. I just dabbed it in a different color. Okay, and dark blue. cute. This is red. Second coat. This is red. This will need a second coat. And then my slate gray. Okay, so slate gray for the bell. Oof, that's a lot. I'll be scooping that back in. Paint is money, so if you ever put too much paint on your palette, you can always keep it back in. Now let's hope that I don't get it on my sleeve. Okay, let's see. Knowing me, I will get it on my sleeve. I'm going to add a little bit of brown. Okay. And then for this, I want it to be yellow. So we are going to use marigold. And first I'm going to add a layer of white. I'm not going to worry about cleaning it because I'll have plenty of layers of paint on this. Okay, let that dry. Can add another layer of red to this one. Looks good. Alright, onto these pieces. So these are going to be white. I'm not worried about cleaning out the scorching on this because I'm going to shade his beard my mustache with brown anyway, and sometimes I like the way that the scorching bleeds through the white. Okay, and this is beige. I will need another coat. Okay, move that to the side. I think that looks good. What color do I want to paint this? Red, white, and boom. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it, or paint it white, and then go over it with a silver glamour dust, or gold. I don't know, we'll decide. Let's see what it looks like. But it's 4th of July, so that means lots of sparkles. Okay, let that dry. It'll need another coat. And then I wanted to go in on his shirt. I'm comfortable using a sponge, makeup sponge on this. If you wanted to, you can use a paintbrush. But his hands will be covering here, so you don't have to make it perfect. His beard will be covering this area. I just want to make sure that I paint enough of that area dark blue. So what I'm going to do is grab his beard and just kind of give a look-see. Yep, okay. And this part's going to be down in the truck. So if you want, you can just go over it with dark blue or clean up your lines and go like this. That looks all the same color. Preference. Whatever your heart desires. That'll need another coat. You can add another coat of beige to his face. See, and I got too much paint down there, so what I'm going to do is use one of these nice little Q-tips and clean it out. Patience, guys, patience. That's what I always have to remind myself. I think what I'm going to do is get a little bit of black. And paint his eyes again. Okay. And you can use this type of paintbrush to get in there, but I'm going to use this because I like the way these work. I'm not going to put any on my palette. I'm just going to go straight out of the lid here. Let's see if this works. You can also use a Sharpie. Okay, and then I'm going to go over it. I should have waited for the page to dry, but to go over it again with beige. But wait for it to dry. Oops, I just got black paint right there. Okay, well, those eyes are dark again. I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to go back over it with beige. Alright, we can go over this with white. I'm going to go over this one with white again. And these. Okay, let that dry, and then we'll put on yellow. Go over this with white. Let that dry. We can go over this with beige. Okay. So this will be I think I'm gonna put some white dots on the background and then float white over the top of these letters. I think that'll really make them pop. So, and then I want to float some white on this too. Alright, let me clean up some of my mess here. I don't need, let's put another coat of brown on here. some of my mess here. I do need to add another coat of that. There. Looks good. All right, floating. So when I float, I like to have a baby wipe. I use an angle brush, get it wet, and then let the water soak up on the baby wipe. This might be too much paint, but we will see. So I have a little bit of too much water, but that's okay. I think that looks good. I think I'm gonna go on the bottom too. I like it. And then I want to do a highlight on the top of this hat brim. Just like that. And I'm going to get more white on my paint palette and we'll do dots. You always want to use fresh paint when doing dots and shading. I'm going to use the thicker in on this tool. And I always do the four corners. Middle, and then I'll move it in. However you want to do this, it'll look good. Like it? Okay. All right, let's I want to add a little bit of blue on this one. Let's like float it. So get my paintbrush wet, dab off the extra water, stick it in my paint, work it in my brush, and I'm going to do the bottom. I like that. Let that dry, and we can do a white highlight on top. I think I'm also going to add a little bit of white to this. I like it. I think I'm also going to add some white. Oh, look what I did. Because I'm in a hurry, I bumped into this. So I was able to wipe that off a little bit. I'll take a sponge. That'll be good. Nope. Need more red. Burgundy. Little job. Okay. Set that over there. What was I going to do? USA. I'm going to add some white to the top of this. Move my water over here. Cute. And I think that's what shading I'm going to do for right now. I might I'm going to add it to the top of this too so it can stand out. So you don't keep your fingers clean, you get it on your project. I'll have to put more on there. Alrighty, we need some yellow. Marigold. That'll need a second coat. Because I wipe that off so much. The PDF kind of spilled a little bit. So I am going to go back over it again after I sanded it. Looks good. And let that dry. I think what I want to do, because I want this to really stand out, is I'm going to actually ombre white and red together. So I could actually use, do I want to use that one? No. When I ombre, I want to use like a flat tinge. I think that looks good. Yep, I love it. Okay, let that dry. Okay, I'm gonna go get something for his cheeks. So when I do cheeks, I like to use like a makeup brush and distressing crayon. So I usually just take my makeup brush and load it up, and then dab it out on my surface, and then lightly do circles. You always want to seal this because if this gets wet, the distressing crayon will smear. Okay, that goes there. Still need to float brown around here, but I just want to check it out and see what it looks like. These coming together. Add some more yellow. May still put silver on that. Keeps coming together. Okay. I think I'm going to use my distressing crayon and my brush here to add a little highlight to his hand. All right, get rid of this. I think I'm going to add silver, maybe even some gold to some of those. I think I do want to add gold to this. Okay, putting this to the side, this to the side. I need that. Putting this to the side. that dry. All right, let's clean up some of my mess again. This one is a big project. I am toss this. All right, so I got Silver Bling Glamour Dust, Champagne Gold Glamour Dust, and Gold Glitz. I want to do red, white, and boon. I think in silver. I kind of like champagne over gold, I think. I'm going to do those. We'll do half silver. I definitely need three white ones for the hat brim. So I'm just going to stick them on my hat. And then 2 gold. So 2 and 2. And then I want to add a champagne. You know what? Let's do gold. Let's just do it. Well, gold over this, silver. Not sure if I want to add glitter to these ones yet, but let's just see what happens. Decisions, decisions, decisions. All right, with the silver bling. Put a little on my sponge and just dab. This will require at least 2 to 3 coats to get really sparkly. And then 2 of these are going to be silver. Okay, this is gold. I'm going to use champagne. Let that dry. Let's see what champagne looks like over red. And what does silver look like over red? Oh, just stick. I'm going to add one more layer of that. And then let's do silver over blue. And champagne over red. Go over this with gold. We'll go over this one with champagne. This with silver. Suppose we should do this one with gold. I don't know. Just winging it. I do love the glamour dust, though. Okay, we are almost ready to start gluing this guy together. Let's put some highlights of brown on these guys. So I'm using my angle brush. I put just enough paint on the corner and just want to give it a little dimension. I like that. Okay, let those dry. And then I feel like his bell needs a little something. Where's my black? Black goes a long ways. So just a little bit of black. Just like that. Let's start gluing this guy together. So using art glitter glue. Be sure to line them up at the edges. Oops. Perfect. That wasn't quite lined up, so I pushed on it and it popped right back off. Because the glue hadn't set just right yet. That's why I love art glitter glue. You still have time to move things around. I should probably find some tweezers to do this. This would be a lot easier, but I don't have any right now handy. Perfect. He's looking cute. I am going to get my, add a little bit to the top of his nose. Perfect. Okay, let's see here. I know that the big red star was over here. So then that means the big blue firework I wanted right here. And just line it up with the score lines. And we can do this. Oops, wrong way. That looks good. Okay, red. Let's go with silver. White silver. And blue star. Again, tweezers would help with placement on these. Where's my... Fucking cute. And then just trying to figure out which one went where. Make sure that this one goes here. And I'm just matching it up to the score lines. Okay. making sure my stars are all lined up. Okay, it's done. Turned out pretty cute. Now, let's do this part. Let's line it up with the scoring lines. Alright, so since this guy broke, he actually goes like this. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the broken side, line them up with my scoring marks, put a little bit of glue there. The glue will dry clear. Just trying to get him as level as possible. A little bit of glue on the end of that. On the end of that. Push too hard. And there you go. The glue will dry clear. Looks good. Now this piece. Cute. Alright, there we have it. Move some of this out of the way. Our Freedom Truck insert. I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July and let freedom ring.